Hello, my name is Ricky Hamilton. I'm here to do the stage 2 of the signature product. The title of my research was The Effects Recess Has on Academics in the Classroom. A little background information. I teach at a rural elementary school that's pre-K through 5th grade. We are a very small school. Population is less than 500 students. We currently have 3 separate buildings. The main building that hosts pre-K through 2nd, an additional building that hosts 3rd grade through 5th grade, a gym, and then 11 portables that host classrooms as well, along with special areas. Um, we are also currently under a 10-room addition building where they had to remove our playground equipment in order to build this building. This has been a year now, and we still do not have playground equipment. The building is still not through, and we don't have an area for our students to safely have recess. That is what led to my research study because due to the fact that I have noticed that academics have decreased in the classroom, students are getting more antsy, just claustrophobic, ready to go outside, ready to get out of the classroom for a little bit, to take a rain break, but we have nowhere safely to do that. So I was wanting to see how recess plays along with academics in the classroom and whether there is actually a correlation between the two. So the problem statement for this research study is that the study will address low academic achievements in an elementary school setting. The purpose of this study will be to explore the effects of recess on academic improvements in an elementary classroom setting. My research questions leading to this study is: how does recess affect academic achievements in an elementary school setting? And from the information that I had gathered, according to several different studies, elementary students should have at least 60 minutes of physical activity daily. In some schools, they only have 30 minutes of PE, so that uses 30 minutes of that time, and that they should have at least 30 minutes of recess to reach that physical activity requirement. Some states don't actually require it, but in 30 minutes of recess, they do recommend up to 20 minutes of recess. All the research I was able to locate supports having recess for at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. It seems to support taking time away from the busy classroom schedules, still outweigh the benefits of having recess versus not having recess. Um, it's hard because we're so pushed as teachers to focus on academics and improving test scores and improving grades that we seem to think that we don't have time for a recess. When in reality, and from evidence from these studies that have been done, taking that 20 minutes to transition to recess and transition back into the building, back into the classroom, outweighs the loss of time greatly. Um, in an interview done in one of the research studies that I looked in, students also use recess to connect with their teachers outside of the classroom and build those connections. And we all know that once a student has that connection with that teacher, that student is able to learn better from that teacher. I want you to take a look at this chart. This chart shows that this was done before recess. It's the average time on a task and off a task before recess. The green are on task and the blue are off task. This is the average time that the students are off the task or on the task, and this is the average the students. As you can see, there are a lot more off-task students. Yes, there are a few There are more on task like right here. However, for the most part, the off task outweighs the on task greatly. This study was conducted before a 30-minute recess. The next graph that I have to show you is after that 30-minute recess, and you notice that the green now greatly outweighs that blue, meaning that there are greatly more students on task versus off the task. This here really stood out to me, the difference in the green and the blue before and after test. So this study plans to explore recess's effects on academic achievements in an elementary classroom setting. Students should have at least 20 minutes of recess in order to improve inside the classroom. So all the studies showed that at least 20 minutes of recess, you should see an improvement in academics within the classroom as far as the student being on task versus off task. Academic achievement is what every stakeholder in the education system wants, whether it's the parent, whether it's the school board, whether it's principals, administrators, teachers, students, everybody that has something to do with education. We all achieve to get that academic success. That's one thing across the board, no matter who you are, whether it's federal level to the student level to the parent level, we all want the same thing. In the research that I've done, there is much attention paid to that test requirements and those mandates. Not enough time in a school day to cover everything, and the pressure from all the things they put on teachers as a reason not to have that recess. Um, there are many benefits from where I've done our research stating that at least 20 minutes of recess a day greatly improves stuff like decreases the symptoms of ADHD, produces happier, healthier children, reduces the chance of nearsightedness. Another study even showed that students that had returned from recess could then sit down and focus on the assignment better than what they could before they went to recess. So how would this be done to academic improved after recess? So a lot of the research that I found was done through observations, um, of just observations, primarily ways to collect data. And then they also gathered student work samples and test scores and compared all of that to each other. There was also questionnaires regarding how the students feel about recess, if it helps them in the classroom. Teachers were asked questions regarding what they saw in the classroom once they started having the 20 minutes of recess daily. The plan for this research study is that the students will be observed before having recess daily for several weeks, and then again once they've had the 20 minutes recess daily for several more weeks. Student work samples will be collected and analyzed. This is a qualitative methodology and measures the effects of recess has on the academic achievements in an elementary school setting. This method was chosen since the data will mainly be gathered through observations and analyzing various assignments. This research study will be an intrinsic case study. The population of this study will be conducted in a rural elementary school setting with students from pre-K to 5th grade. The samples for this study will be one class per grade level. How will this be chosen? How will the classes be chosen? Each teacher's name will be placed for each grade level will be placed in a bag, and one name will be drawn. The name that will be drawn will be the grade level, the teacher on that grade level that will be part of the study. The person observing the students will observe for 3 weeks prior to the starting recess. They will also gather the data from each student during that time. Recess will be implemented for the 20 minutes a day for 3 weeks. The observer will then observe the students and take work samples to analyze. During the observation, the observer will take notes on how long each student is on task and off task, and how much each student is and or is not focusing. The study is designed two variables. The dependent variable is the low academic achievements, and the independent variable is the 20 minutes of recess daily. The data collection will be collected through observations before starting daily recess, and then once recess has been started for 3 weeks. Other data will come from the student's work sample. There are some limitations because of it being recess. There are limitations as far as what if it rains? Then where will recess be held? It could be held inside in a much smaller place, but it still could be held. This is approximately a 2-month-long study. It is intended to help with that low academic achievements due to the lack of recess. It was designed to show if there is a significant importance to recess or not. There has been much controversy over whether using instructional time in the class to have recess was worth it. Upon completion of this study, the question of what the use of recess has on academic achievements in the elementary classroom setting should be answered with the data to back the research. Thank you.